Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Anuja Kumar, and with me is Ramya in the Midday News. The headlines. Delhi Regional Security Dialogue on Afghanistan situation underway. Representatives of Iran, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyz Republic, Russia, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan are participating. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval expresses confidence in deliberations and it will help people of Afghanistan and enhance collective security. President Ramnath Kovind confers the honorary rank of General of Indian Army to Nepal Army Chief Prabhu Ram Sharma at Rashtrapati Bhavan. Vice Admiral R. Hari Kumar to be the next Chief of Naval Staff, succeeding Admiral Karambir Singh. More than 109 crore 63 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 98.25%. IMD warns of heavy rain in Tamilnadu during next 2 days. State government declares holiday in 9 districts including Chennai today and tomorrow. Chhath Puja being celebrated in different parts of the country, devotees to offer Sandhya Arghya to the sun god this evening. Today is World Science Day. Theme for this year is Building Climate-Ready Communities. Rohit Sharma to captain India's T20 international team for upcoming series against New Zealand, and in T20 World Cup, England to take on New Zealand in first semi-final in Abu Dhabi this evening. As India created history by administering over 100 crore vaccine doses against COVID-19, All India Radio salutes all the doctors, nurses, other frontline workers and all those who got vaccinated and made this possible. Even though the country has achieved this feat, we caution our listeners that the battle against COVID is not yet over. We appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated at the earliest and also help others get vaccinated. During the festival season, please follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011 2397 8046 and 1075. And now, the news in detail. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval today reiterated that India is keenly watching the developments in Afghanistan. In his remarks at Delhi Regional Security Dialogue, Mr. Doval said it is a privilege for India to host this dialogue.
This is a time for close consultations amongst us, greater cooperation and interaction and coordination among the regional countries. I am confident that our deliberations will be productive, useful and will contribute to help the people of Afghanistan and enhance our collective security.
Delhi Regional Security Dialogue, which is convened by India over the Afghanistan situation, is currently underway in New Delhi. Iran, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyz Republic, Russia, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan are participating in the meeting. India had also invited Pakistan and China for the meeting. However, both countries are not attending. China has said it is unable to attend the meeting due to scheduling issue, but is open for a dialogue with India on Afghanistan multilaterally and bilaterally. Iran's National Security Council Secretary Rear Admiral Ali Shamkhani said, "Solution can come with the formation of an inclusive government and participation of all ethnic groups in Afghanistan." Admiral Shamkhani expressed hope to come up with a mechanism to resolve it. Security Council of Tajikistan Secretary Nasrullah Rahmat John Mahmoodzoda said his country shares a long border with Afghanistan. Therefore, the current situation creates an extra risk and possibilities for drug trafficking and terrorism. Mr. Mahmoodzoda said the situation on Tajik-Afghan border remains complicated. He said Tajikistan is ready to participate in all programs that can help the people of Afghanistan. Secretary of Security Council of Kyrgyzstan, Marat M. Imankulov, said that it is a very difficult situation in the region and all over the world. Speaking at the dialogue, Secretary of the Security Council of Russia, Nikolai Patrushev, said the multilateral meetings can help in discussing issues linked to development situation in Afghanistan and establish long-lasting peace in the country. This is the first time all Central Asian countries, not just Afghanistan's immediate land neighbors, are participating in this format. The enthusiastic response is recognition of the importance attached to India's role to promote peace and security in Afghanistan. Our correspondent, quoting official sources, reports that there will be discussions over security situation in Afghanistan, radicalization, extremism, drug production and trafficking. Threat emanating from military weapons left behind in Afghanistan will also be a part of deliberation. President Ramnath Kovind today conferred the honorary rank of General of Indian Army to Nepal Army Chief Prabhu Ram Sharma at a special function at Rashtrapati Bhavan. Indian Army Chief General Manoj Naravane was conferred the rank of Honorary General of the Nepal Army in November 2020 by the Nepal's President Vidya Devi Bhandari. General Prabhu Ram Sharma is in India for a 3-day official visit since yesterday. He met the Air Force Chief, Air Chief Marshal V.R. Chaudhary, yesterday. The government has appointed Vice Admiral R. Harikumar as the next Chief of the Naval Staff. He is presently the Flag Officer Commanding-in-Chief, Western Naval Command. The present Navy Chief Admiral Karambir Singh is retiring from service on the 30th of this month. Vice Admiral R. Harikumar was commissioned on 1st of January 1983 into the executive branch of the Indian Navy. During his long and distinguished service spanning nearly 39 years, he has served in a variety of command, staff and instructional appointments. Vice Admiral R. Harikumar's Sea Command includes INS Nishank, Missile Corvette, INS Kora and Guided Missile Destroyer INS Ranveer. He also commanded Indian Navy's aircraft carrier INS Virat. He served as Fleet Operations Officer of the Western Fleet.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch the Kanpur Metro by the end of this year. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath today flagged off the trial run of the Kanpur Metro on 9-kilometer priority track between IIT and Moti Jheel. On the occasion, the Chief Minister said that the residents of Kanpur will have a great transportation service in the next 6 to 8 weeks. More from our correspondent.
2 metro corridors of about 32.5 km long are proposed under the Kanpur Metro project. In the first phase, metro will run on the 9-km priority corridor. 9 metro stations have been constructed so far. The second phase of metro work would be carried out between Moti Jheel and Transport Nagar, for which underground stations will be constructed. On becoming fully operational, 6 metro trains will run on the priority corridor between IIT and Moti Jheel, and 2 trains will remain parked in the depot as reserve. 6 more trains will arrive in the city by the time the commercial operations are launched. The construction work of the Kanpur Metro Rail project was initiated by Yogi Adityanath government on November 15, 2019. The Kanpur Metro Rail project has been completed in less than a span of 2 years despite the pandemic break. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
More than 109 crore 63 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. Health Ministry said more than 52 lakh 69,000 doses were administered in the last 24 hours. A total of 11,466 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours. The recovery rate is currently at 98.25%, the highest since March 2020. Health Ministry has said that more than 118 crore vaccine doses have been provided to states and union territories so far. It added that more than 16 crore 13 lakh balance and unutilized COVID vaccine doses are still available with states and union territories to be administered.
In Himachal Pradesh, regular classes have started for the children of classes 3 to 7 in government and private schools of the state from today, after a long gap of about 1.5 years. The Education Department has issued a standard operating procedure in this regard. Apart from this, the state government has also decided to reopen the schools for the children of class 1 and 2 from 15th of this month. In a bilingual live phone-in program, Corona Jagrukta series, Dr. Harish Pende, pediatrician, Lady Hardinge Medical College, New Delhi, will be with us tonight to answer the queries related to coronavirus. Listeners can ask questions to the expert from 9:30 p.m. on toll-free number 1800 115767 and on telephone number 011-233-14444. You can also post your queries on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This live program can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.nic.in and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. In Kerala, 2 senior Maoist activists, including a woman, were arrested by the police. Both were arrested from the Kerala-Karnataka border region in Wayanad district yesterday. The arrested were identified as B.G. Krishnamurthy and Savitri. Krishnamurthy is the Western Ghats Zonal Committee Secretary and was leading the activities of the group in Kerala, while Savitri had 17 UAPA cases registered against her. Both were produced before the District Principal Sessions Court at Tallassery today and were remanded till the 9th of next month.
In Tamilnadu, widespread rainfall was witnessed in all the districts in the last 24 hours due to the low pressure in the Bay of Bengal. It lays over central parts of South Bay of Bengal and is likely to concentrate into a depression over Southwest Bay of Bengal and move west-northwestwards and reach North Tamil Nadu coast by early tomorrow morning. Thereafter, it is likely to continue to move west-northwestwards and cross North Tamil Nadu and adjoining South Andhra Pradesh coast between Karaikal and Sriharikota around Cuddalore by tomorrow evening. The Met Department has predicted heavy to very heavy rains in the next 24 hours. It has issued a high alert in the state as a low pressure area has formed over coastal Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. The state government has declared holidays today and tomorrow in 9 districts including Chennai. Red alerts have been issued for Cuddalore, Villupuram, Shivaganga, Ramanathapuram and Karaikal today. A report.
The Met Department has predicted heavy to very heavy rains in 17 districts in the next 24 hours. 53 important reservoirs in the state have reached more than 76% water, even as rains are still continuing. More than 33,000 boats have returned back to the shore. The state government has roped in more than 1 lakh volunteers in the rescue and relief missions. The government has allotted 513 crores to immediately strengthen the embankments in 11 districts including Chengalpattu and Tiruvallur in low-lying areas to prevent inundation by seawater. Nagapattinam has received the maximum rainfall of 31 centimeters. Some areas in Tiruvallur and Thanjavur districts have experienced more than 20 centimeters rainfall in the last 24 hours. The state government has appealed to all the farmers to register themselves under the Prime Minister's crop insurance scheme. Joy, AIR News, Chennai.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Delhi Regional Security Dialogue on Afghanistan situation underway. Representatives of Iran, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyz Republic, Russia, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan are participating. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval expresses confidence in deliberations and it will help people of Afghanistan and enhance collective security. President Ramnath Kovind confers the honorary rank of General of Indian Army to Nepal Army Chief Prabhu Ram Sharma at Rashtrapati Bhavan. Vice Admiral R. Hari Kumar to be the next Chief of Naval Staff, succeeding Admiral Karambir Singh. More than 109 crore 63 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 98.25%. IMD warns of very heavy rains in Tamil Nadu during the next few days. State government declares holiday in 9 districts including Chennai today and tomorrow. Chhath Puja being celebrated in different parts of the country. Devotees to offer Sandhya Arghya to Sun God this evening. Today is World Science Day. Theme for this year is Building Climate-Ready Communities. Rohit Sharma to captain India's T20 international team for upcoming series against New Zealand, and in T20 Cricket World Cup, England to take on New Zealand in first semi-final in Abu Dhabi this evening. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the Midday News on All India Radio. The 11th Defence Technology and Trade Initiative DTTI group meeting between India and the United States was held virtually yesterday. It was co-chaired by India's Secretary of Defence Production Department Raj Kumar and US's Under Secretary of Defence for Acquisition and Sustainment Gregory Costner. The co-chairs agreed on a revised statement of intent to strengthen dialogue on defence technology cooperation. Defence Ministry said that this is a major accomplishment for DTTI. The aim of the DTTI group is to bring sustained leadership focus to the bilateral defence trade relationship between India and the US. The Union Health Ministry has initiated digital registration of all medical facilities and all doctors under Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission for digitization of health records. Under the initiative, government hospitals have been advised to procure Hospital Information Management System software. On 27th of September, in a historic initiative, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had launched the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission via video conferencing. Addressing the nation on the occasion, the Prime Minister said that the campaign of strengthening health facilities that had been going on for the last 7 years was entering a new phase. Under the mission, every Indian will get a unique health ID that will also work as a health account to which personal health records can be linked. Chhath Puja is being celebrated in different parts of the country with religious fervour and devotion. Devotees will offer Sandhya Arghya to the setting sun on the third day of the festival this evening. On this occasion, folk songs are sung at the banks of water bodies and rivers. Our Patna correspondent has filed this report on the Chhath celebrations in Bihar.
Devotees have started gathering at various ghats of river, ponds and water reservoirs. All roads led to ghat have been nicely decorated. Standing in knee-deep water, devotees will pay oblation to the setting sun in evening. A large number of devotees have gathered at various sun temples, including Dev in Aurangabad, Badgaon in Nalanda, and Ullar Sun Temple in Paliganj, to observe the festival. This puja is dedicated to worship of the sun god and to thank for supporting life on earth. Chhath is celebrated on the 6th day of the month of Kartik in the Vikram Samvat. The 4-day Chhath Puja will culminate with oblation to rising sun tomorrow morning. With KK Lal's report from Patna, this is Manal Said from AIR News.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has extended greetings to the people on the occasion of Chhath Puja. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said, "May Chhati Maiya bless everyone with good health and happiness."
आस्था के इस महापर्व में उगते सूर्य की उपासना और डूबते सूर्य की पूजा का संदेश अद्वितीय संस्कार से परिपूर्ण है। दुनिया तो उगने वालों को पूजने में लगी रहती है, लेकिन छठ पूजा हमें उनकी आराधना करने का भी संस्कार देती है, जिनका डूबना भी प्राय निश्चित है। हमारे जीवन में स्वच्छता के महत्व की अभिव्यक्ति भी इस त्योहार में समाई हुई है। छठ से पहले पूरे घर की सफाई, साथ ही नदी, तालाब, पोखर के किनारे, पूजा स्थल यानी घाटों की भी सफाई पुरजोश सब लोग जुड़ करके करते हैं।
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase hallmarked gold jewelry. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline's toll-free number 14404. Issued in public interest by Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India, Jago Grahak Jago.
And now, let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
On 10th of November 1698, Calcutta was sold to the East India Company. Having started trading in Bengal as early as 1633, the East India Company wanted to obtain more rights of trade in the region.
In 1682, Hosea Child was the governor of the English East India Company in London. Hosea Child was also the governor of Bombay. He sent William Hedges to Bengal in order to obtain an imperial farman. Due to the arrogance of the British, Emperor Aurangzeb broke off the negotiations. After that, Hosea Child decided to wage a war against Aurangzeb.
In 1685, the British sent out 12 warships to seize Chittagong. But fate took an interesting turn. During their voyage, the ships were dispersed due to strong winds. Some ships, instead of steering for Chittagong, entered the Hooghly. The arrival of such a formidable expedition alarmed the Mughals. The Mughal army offered negotiations, but the British in return strengthened their fleet and bombarded Baleshwar.
After that, Emperor Aurangzeb issued orders for the complete annihilation of the British possessions. In 1689, after a year of resistance, the English surrendered. In utter humiliation, the company sent envoys to Aurangzeb's camp to plead for a pardon. The company's envoys had to prostrate themselves before the emperor.
As a result, the company moved their factory about 20 miles down the Hooghly River to Sultanati. This settlement gradually extended to Kalikata and Govindpur. Kalikata became the headquarters of the East India Company in Bengal. Kalikata was renamed Calcutta by the British. And on 10th of November 1698, the company actually purchased the 3 towns of Sultanati, Govindpur and Kalikata.
Fortification of the town was completed in 1706. Known as Fort William, the settlement grew rapidly, and in 1707 it was raised to the status of a presidency. Kolkata later emerged as the pioneer center of Indian nationalism.
Today is also the birth anniversary of Surendranath Banerjee. Born in Calcutta on 10th of November 1848, Surendranath Banerjee was a major figure in Indian nationalism during the late 19th and early 20th century. A believer in moderate means, he was deeply committed to achieving constitutional objectives by constitutional methods.
Upon completion of his early education in India, Surendranath Banerjee went to London. In 1869, Surendranath became the second Indian to succeed in the Indian Civil Service competitive examination.
He was appointed to a post in Sylhet, in present-day Bangladesh, in his homeland. However, in 1874, he was dismissed for a minor and apparently inadvertent procedural error. Banerjee felt he had been discriminated against because he was an Indian. Upon returning to Calcutta in 1875, he embarked on a political career to organize Indian public opinion and protect the rights of Indians. To achieve this, he founded the Indian Association in 1876.
The Indian Association had set the stage for a more practical demonstration of the newly awakened sense of political unity of India. The first session of the Indian Association was held in Calcutta in December 1883. The session was attended by more than 100 delegates from different parts of India.
Banerjee was active in teaching for 37 years and considered it his chief vocation, though inseparable from his political work. Surendranath Banerjee took a chair in English literature at the Metropolitan Institution, now Vidyasagar College, and subsequently taught at the Ripon College, now Surendranath College.
In 1878, he became a proprietor of an English-language newspaper, The Bengali, through which he espoused liberal causes for nearly half a century. He also played a prominent role in the Indian National Congress from the time of its founding in 1885. He was the president of the Indian National Congress in 1895 and 1902.
Banerjee was a believer in moderate means of political agitation, meetings, petitions, and legislative action. His grasp of the English language and his skills as an orator and debater made him an outstanding public speaker. he reached the peak of his political career in opposing the partition of Bengal in 1905. During these years, he was often called the uncrowned King of Bengal.
He was elected to the Reformed Legislative Council of Bengal in 1921, knighted in the same year, and held office as Minister for Local Self-Government from 1921 to 1924. He was defeated at the polls in 1923. He breathed his last at Barrackpore on August the 6th, 1925.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar AIR News ke Sang. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
स्वाधीनता संग्राम के वे निशान जो साक्षी हैं हमारे सेनानियों के संघर्ष और बलिदान के। आकाशवाणी समाचार ला रहा है विशेष श्रृंखला निशान। हर बुधवार को शाम 4:45 पर कार्यक्रम परिक्रमा में FM गोल्ड 100.1 मेगाहर्ट्ज पर।
World Science Day for Peace and Development is being celebrated today. The theme of this year is Building Climate-Ready Communities. The objective is to bring science closer to society by highlighting some key scientific aspects and possible solutions provided by science, technology and innovation to some of the major global challenges the society is facing today. It also underlines the importance and relevance of science in our daily lives.
India's limited overs vice captain Rohit Sharma has been officially announced as Team India's T20 international captain, replacing Virat Kohli. Board of Control for Cricket in India (BCCI) announced the decision yesterday while also naming India's 16-man squad for the upcoming home series against New Zealand. Kohli had earlier announced his decision to step down as India's captain in the shortest format following the conclusion of ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2021. In ICC T20 World Cup 2021, England and New Zealand will play the first semi-final at the Sheikh Zayed Stadium, Abu Dhabi today. The match will start at 7:30 p.m. IST. Pakistan and Australia will play the second semi-final, which is set to take place tomorrow in Dubai. All India Radio is broadcasting ball-by-ball commentary of the World Cup matches.
Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina called on the French President Emmanuel Macron in Paris yesterday. The joint statement issued after the meeting said that both the countries share the same vision for a free, open, peaceful, secure and inclusive Indo-Pacific region based on international laws. Now let us take a look at the weather update for today. The national capital Delhi is likely to have partly cloudy sky. Minimum temperature was 13 degrees Celsius while maximum is expected to be 29 degrees. Mumbai will have mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature of 21 degrees Celsius was recorded while the maximum is expected to be around 34 degrees. Chennai is expected to have generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. Lower limit of temperature was 23 degrees Celsius while upper limit is expected to be nearly 26 degrees. And in Kolkata, it will have a mainly clear sky. City noted a minimum temperature of 21 degrees Celsius while maximum is expected to be around 30 degrees. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Delhi Regional Security Dialogue on Afghanistan situation underway. Representatives of Iran, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyz Republic, Russia, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan are participating. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval expresses confidence in deliberations and it will help people of Afghanistan and enhance collective security. President Ramnath Kovind confers the honorary rank of General of Indian Army to Nepal Army Chief Prabhu Ram Sharma at Rashtrapati Bhavan. Vice Admiral R. Hari Kumar to be the next Chief of Naval Staff, succeeding Admiral Karambir Singh. More than 109 crore 63 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 98.25%. IMD warns of heavy rain in Tamilnadu during next 2 days. State government declares holiday in 9 districts, including Chennai, today and tomorrow. Chhath Puja being celebrated in different parts of the country. Devotees to offer Sandhya Arghya to the sun god this evening. Today is World Science Day. Theme for this year is Building Climate-Ready Communities. Rohit Sharma to captain India's T20 international team for upcoming series against New Zealand. And in T20, England to take on New Zealand in Abu Dhabi. And with that, we end the midday news.